Okay, guys, and we are live on YouTube also. So welcome all of our YouTube viewers. Good morning. Let's get started. We are running about 2 minutes behind schedule, but let's pick up the pace and I will get set up. So welcome all of our YouTube viewers. Good morning. Let's get started. Love the YouTube playback. Okay, guys. D, my account is not active right now. D, go ahead and email support@elify.com and they'll be able to get in touch with you and make sure that you get all set back up with whatever you need with your account. Okay, guys, so good morning. My name is Emily Drost and I am the president here at Elify. Welcome to our lead generation training. Today we are going to be reviewing how to use all of the newest lead generation tools that are offered with your Shuffle subscription. I want to clarify that lead generation, being a CRM component, is only available to Shuffle users. This is not something that is available with your 1QR subscription. That being said, if you have 1QR and want to take advantage of lead generation, go ahead and get signed up for Shuffle. Upgrade your account to Shuffle so that you're able to utilize and access these features. I am going to be doing the training today on my iPhone 8. And I am an iOS user, so this is iPhone 8. The process on desktop and on Android is relatively the same. So my recommendation is to follow along, watch this Zoom from your desktop or from another device so that you can follow along. If you're joining us on YouTube and if you're joining us in the Zoom, please use the chat in the Q&A feature as well as the comments feature on YouTube for any questions that you may have, and I will answer your questions live. Now, lead generation is a little bit of a bigger beast of a tool. So there's a few more components than normal. So I'm going to try and go slowly through everything, but because of time, and I want to make sure that I have time to answer everybody's questions, I might go a little bit more quickly. Please note that this is being recorded. This is going to be live on YouTube. So immediately following this, you can go over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Elify, and rewatch this. If you don't want to go to YouTube, you can wait a day, 24 hours, and you will get a link to this replay in your email so that you can watch this anytime that you would like. So anytime you want to watch, go ahead and do so. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to try and keep the training to about 30 minutes, and then I'll leave time at the end to answer all of your questions as it relates to lead generation, how to use this, and why you would use this. So I am going to share my screen here for you all so you can see exactly what it is that I am doing and how I am doing it. Let's see. Zoom changed all of their controls on me overnight, so I've got to get caught up. Here we go. Okay, guys, so you can see that I am logged into my Shuffle account here on my iPhone 8. And you know, when you first open up the Shuffle application, you end up on your business card carousel. So the thing about lead generation is it's a lead generation tool, obviously. The whole purpose is to use this to be able to collect name and information from your contacts. This is something that is linked to campaigns, but you're able to access when sharing one-to-one. Remember, campaigns, if you've watched any of our previous trainings, campaigns are a great way to track a sharing of one to many, so from yourself to many people. So if you're posting in a public forum, on Facebook, social media, where you don't necessarily know exactly who you're sharing with, you're just doing the share, you don't know specifically who's going to view it, but you know that people will view it, you share through a campaign. Now, the lead generation is tied primarily, there's my family, aren't they cute? Lead generation is tied to campaigns. However, this latest feature update allows you to share a lead generation tied specifically to a person through a campaign. And I'll show you exactly what that means as we go through this process here. The very first thing that I want to show you is how you can share a lead generation form. So if you've got a card here, and I'm gonna, well, you know, let's actually start with building a lead generation card. So the very first thing that you wanna do is you wanna create a new card. Or if you want to add a lead generation form to an existing card, you can tap a card and select edit. But let's say we're gonna go through the entire card build process. You're gonna build out a card. You're gonna hit continue. You're gonna use your profile information. You're gonna browse all of the available information here. You're gonna say, oh, yep, this looks great. And one of my recommendations when you are building a card to use with lead generation, or if you're going to use a card with lead generation, it might be helpful to put some information in there about how you're going to use the information that somebody is providing you, just in case they're curious. In the form below, let's say I'm doing this as a Color Street rep. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna finish this up. Look, this is our card. We built this because our profile is already done. We built this in what? 2 minutes? Not even a minute? Okay, so here's our lead generation test. We've built a card. Now you can add lead generation to any of your cards, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. Once you've got your card created, tap on the card that you would like to add lead generation to, and go down here to campaigns. Tap campaigns, and I'm gonna create a new campaign. Now, the name of the campaign is not something that anybody is gonna see. The description is not something that anybody is gonna see. This is for me and my notes only, or for you and your notes only in your account. My notification settings, I'm gonna go ahead and set that to daily summary because I'm a daily summary type of gal. And I'm gonna include lead capture. And this is where you're starting to set up your lead generation form. So you're gonna hit include lead capture. And you're gonna see here that now I have a toggle. It's auto toggled to off, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn it green to turn it on. And I want my lead notification settings to be individual because I actually want to know exactly when somebody provides me their information right at that point in time. But you can also set these to a daily summary if you would prefer a daily summary. But you know what? I'm also going to turn off email notifications, but I want my notifications turned on so that I get a push notification from the app anytime somebody provides me their information through the lead generation form. I don't think I saved that. Okay. So your lead capture position. This is some of the new features that we have with our lead generation. Show at bottom is going to put the lead generation form at the bottom of my card. The other options that I have are an optional pop-up, which means it's going to, as soon as somebody clicks to view my card, so they view the link, a pop-up is going to come up before they're even able to see the content on my card. That is the lead generation form. And it being optional means that they do not need to provide their information to proceed, so they can X out of the lead generation form without providing any information and see the content on your card. And then mandatory is the opposite. They do not have the option to X out. It's just there always to be seen. They have to fill out the information the minute they view the card in order to proceed to the next step. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what all of those look like. We're gonna start with show at bottom. Now, lead capture title is something that your users will see. So make sure that it's user-friendly or viewer-friendly. Now, by default, first name is visible and required. Why? Because this is going to allow you to put something in your CRM that tells you obviously who it is that was viewing your card or providing you the information. But I need a little bit more information than just their first name. So I'm going to add a custom field. Now it's important to note that as you build these fields, that's the order that they're going to come up in on the lead generation form. So by default, first name is going to be there. So add custom fields. The very next thing that I want somebody to add is their last name. So I'm going to give them a text edit field. I'm going to put in last name. Because last name is short, I only need a short text edit field. But if I wanted to, I could change this into a long text field. If let's say I wanted them to provide me a paragraph of information, more than just a couple of characters for their last name. And you know what, I'm also going to make this mandatory. So I'm going to hit save. And then, one of the next questions that I want to ask them is I'm doing this as a Color Street consultant. So I'm going to do a radio box and I'm going to say one selectable item. This means that I'm going to give them a couple of options to choose from. And they can only select one. So I'm going to say, do you like glitter nail polish? And my options that I'm going to give them to choose from are yes or no. And I don't need this to be mandatory, so I'm not going to toggle mandatory on. I'm going to hit save. The next custom field that I need to add, let's see, is a checkbox. So let's say that I want them multiple selectable items. So here's a great example of that. What days are best for you to host a nail bar event? And I'm going to put in here just a couple of days. Now, here's a great example of how I need to add more fields to this. So Sunday, Monday, see this little plus sign? So if you look across Monday, you see a little X. And then there's a little plus sign next to that. Tap that plus sign. And that's going to give me another field option. So I'm going to just keep pushing that plus sign all the way down the days of the week. Oops, and you know what? I don't actually need that one. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to delete out by hitting the minus sign. Okay, so look at that. Now I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And you know what? This one I want to be mandatory, so I'm going to turn on mandatory. Okay, and let's see, the last one that we have here, we can do a text edit field where we have long text, so they maybe need to provide a full paragraph of information. So maybe one of the things that we want to ask is, tell me a little bit about how often you do your nails, or what's your biggest concern about trying Color Street. The other option that we have here is a drop-down menu. So we can put in this drop-down menu, we can put in, what are your favorite color families? And maybe we do neutrals, maybe we do jewel tones, and let's do pastels. And this is going to give a drop-down menu where they're going to be able to scroll through and see the options and select their favorites. Okay, so this is our lead capture form. We've shown you what all of those different options are. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit up here where this little checkbox is. That's going to save my lead capture form. I'm going to hit the checkbox again to save it. So let's go ahead and copy this link. And you guys, if you all have your phones out, feel free to scan that QR code that's up on the screen so you can see this for yourselves. I'm going to copy that link. And I'm going to go over here to my Safari. And I'm going to paste and go. So you guys can see exactly what this lead generation form looks like. So here's all of their information. Now remind you, I had this at show at bottom of card. So you can see it's at the bottom of the card. First name, last name. You can see the do you like glitter nail polish, yes or no. What days are best for you to host a nail bar? Well, you can see that I can select a couple of their options there. What are your favorite color families? You can see that that was, must have saved that as a short form field. And you're going to hit I agree. And then they have to submit. But let's see, oh, they didn't provide me their first name. They didn't provide me their last name. Now I'm going to hit submit. Thank you. Your information has been successfully submitted, and you see now that I got a notification. Emily Drost received from lead generation example. Now let's go ahead and let's look at what that looks like. So you guys can see what you would expect from your contacts. So I received that notification that I have a new lead generation contact. I'm going to tap contacts, and I'm going to pull up this one at the top here. So I have their first name and their last name. You can see that last name automatically populated in the contact at the top here. And then everything else that they provided in that form field is available here under additional data. And I have all of that information right here at my fingertips now. So I can go through and I can schedule a follow-up reminder, leave a note about this person, and I can even tag them. And you can see that they are auto tagged where they came from. So they were a lead capture, and they came from my lead generation example campaign. But let's say I wanted to add another tag. I could do that with this plus sign. You guys know how all that works. Okay. So that's the contact section. I'm going to pull up the chatter real quick. Yes, Tom. So I'm going to go through that in just a minute. Tom had a great question. I thought you could add lead capture to a card without a campaign. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how that works in just a moment. Okay, so guys, let's show you what those other two lead generation options look like now that we have that lead generation form created. Let's say we wanted to make this an optional pop-up. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to tap the card. I'm going to come down here to campaigns. I'm going to find the campaign that I want to edit. I'm going to hit the gear in the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to tap Edit Campaign. Include lead capture is turned on. I'm going to tap on that Include Lead Capture. I'm going to come over here to Lead Capture Position, and I'm going to make it an optional pop-up. I'm going to hit the check mark to save it, check mark again to save it. Copy the link, come back over here, paste and go. And you can see that this is a pop-up. Before you've even viewed the card, this pop-up is required, but it's got the optional X up here, so somebody doesn't have to fill out the information to proceed. They can get to your content on your card without providing you the lead generation form. Let's go back to the app. And let's go through the process of editing that to being a mandatory pop-up. Tap on the card, tap on campaigns, tap on the campaign that it's edited to, click the gear in the upper right-hand corner, edit campaign. Include lead capture is on, tap include lead capture. Keep it toggled to green. Lead capture position, optional pop-up. Let's turn that to mandatory. Check mark to save. Let's go back here to the card, hit refresh. And you can see that it's now a pop-up before viewing the content, but they have to provide you the information. There's no X there to get out of it. It's mandatory for them to provide you the information before they're able to view the content on your card. Some of you may ask, what is this? I agree to terms of use and privacy policy. This is a GDPR requirement in the EU. So this is something that makes it so that you can be confident that your all of your cards, all of your lead capture, all of your content are GDPR compliant. That way you don't have to worry about who's viewing your content. Okay, so let's go back to the app. Now I've showed you how to build a lead capture, what all the various lead capture options are for your form. What are the optional collection points? So optional pop-up, mandatory pop-up, show at bottom of card. The other thing that I want to show you right now is how to share this. If you're going to share a card, how you can share a card to an individual with lead generation being attached to it. So let's say I wanted to share this card and I wanted to share it with Tom Speed. Tom Speed, I know you're viewing here. So I'm going to tap on the card. I'm going to hit send card. I'm going to select from my shuffle contacts. And Tom, I think I have you in here. If not, I will get someone at it. We will share with our head of customer success, Violet. Okay, so here's where the option to share lead capture to an individual comes in. Now, where would this be helpful for you? Let's say that you're that color street stylist and you are working on scheduling your next nail bar with a contact, and you have a lead generation form already created and attached to your what do you need to know if you're going to host a nail bar card. So, but in order to get that scheduled, you want them to provide you all of the information, but you know the individual specifically that you're going to be sharing this with. So you would send them your what do you need to know to host a nail bar card with lead capture attached to it, so that then they could provide you all of that information that you need to know to host their nail bar. So you're going to select tap, you're going to tap with lead generation. This is going to drive you to all of your campaigns. The reason why it's going to drive you to the campaigns that you get to select from is because that's where your lead generation forms live. So I'm going to tap this one. I'm going to send it via shuffle to her. I have now sent her my card with lead generation attached to it, so she can provide me all of the requested information that I need to get her set up to host a successful nail bar. And I know, because I sent her that how to host a card, I know that she has that card with all of the content of everything that she needs to know about hosting a successful nail bar. So that's how you would send a lead capture to a specific person, but through sharing a card. And what's wonderful is, and I'm hoping that she'll get this and she'll view it in time. I hope she's not in a meeting right now. But if she views it, you will see that this was tied to that individual. So I'm going to still get a notification that Violet viewed my card. I'm going to get a notification when Violet submits her lead generation form information. I'm still going to get all of that information because it was tied to the specific person that I shared that lead generation with. So you can see how this lead generation sharing with a specific individual is a hugely valuable tool. And I would encourage you to think about lead generation as more than just collecting leads, but also allowing you to streamline the way that you do business. Because look, I am filling out that dossier on my Emily Drost contact, and they're the ones providing me the information to fill in the data. I'm not having to collect the data on my own. They're voluntarily providing it to me through the lead generation form. D, so this is a really great question. Is there no way to just require name only as mandatory while other information is optional? Yes, there is. So when we were in lead generation, I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to go to the card, tap campaigns, tap the campaign that I want to modify, tap the gear in the upper right-hand corner, edit campaign, lead capture. all of these fields, this mandatory field on or off, this one is off right now. So if it's a mandatory field, they're not required. You can ask for that information, but they're not required to provide it. I think this one, no, that one we didn't. What was the one that we had? Like last name here is a required field. They have to provide that for you. Okay. Can I change the terms and policy checkbox text to German? Edgar, not right now. You're not able to do that. It's only in English. But it's pretty standard. That's standard copy that we see across all everywhere for GDPR compliance. So it should be okay, even if it's in English. Okay, guys, so if you have any other questions, please go ahead and type them in the chat here. Use the Q&A section of Zoom, and I'll go ahead and answer those questions. But this really, this shows you how to add lead generation to a card, all of the different options, all of the different viewing options. It shows you all of the different form fields that you have with lead generation. And we even talked a little bit about the different uses for them, why you would maybe want to share a card with somebody with lead generation attached to it. The other thing that I want to show you, I showed you guys how when you go into your contacts, this is building out that contact dossier for you, all with the information that they provided. And then the one other thing that I wanted to just clarify too is make sure that you saw was this tags component. This is awesome, you guys, because this is going to auto organize and auto tag your contacts as they come in. So this one is lead generation example. That's because they came in under the lead generation example campaign. But let's say that I had a campaign that was, as a Color Street consultant, nail bar hosts prospects. Then all that I would have to do is come into my contacts. It would be auto tagged. I could sort by my lead capture contacts and see everyone. I could also come in here. And if I had one that was nail bar host prospects, I could tap on that tag and all of my nail bar host prospects would pop up. You can see how hugely powerful that is with it auto tagging for you to streamline your doing business. And then imagine that situation where you're sitting there and you're looking at your calendar for December saying, who's going to host a nail bar for me this month? And you just have to pull up your prospects list and boom, 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 go down your list of all of your potential prospects to reach out and get a nail bar scheduled. Your calendar will always be full. Don't you love that? I love that. This is truly a game changer. So Rick, let's see, can you ask for email in verify correct format? Rick, could you provide me a little bit of information? Verify correct format, meaning it has to be like at something.com. I think I understand what you're saying. Yes. Okay. Good question. Let's test it. I don't know. That's a really good question. So let's test it. I don't know. Let's edit. Let's add a field. Mandatory save, check, check. Let's go back over here, refresh. Okay, so Rick, it doesn't verify, but we can fix that. We can change that. We'll make it verify. Yeah. Okay, good point. Whoop, sorry, guys. Okay, Tom Speed, this is a game changer. Think about it. Opt-in pages with a CRM and analytics for $20. Yes, you have the 100 card option. Amazing, right? For 20 cents each if you have the 100 card option. Isn't that amazing? Opt-in pages with a CRM and analytics for 20 cents each if you have the 100 card option. Well, and let's think about it. It's even less than that, because you can have infinite campaigns on each card, and each campaign can have its own lead generation form tied to it. So you could have this one card, this card right here that we're looking at right now, and it could have, if I hit the plus sign here, I could create infinite number of campaigns, and each campaign have its own lead generation form. Crazy, huh? Yeah. So I mean, really, the options here for lead generation is infinite. You can do a lot with this. Yes. Yes. Tom Speed said this is going to explode your shuffle biz. I mean, this is going to explode all of your businesses. And think about, you know, the way that we can do this with how can we, other ways that we can apply this to your business. And that's where I want to encourage you, you know, think outside of this being just a lead generation platform. Think of this being as truly creating those dossiers, those complete dossiers on your contacts. The fact that it's auto-organizing your contacts for you, and the fact that your contacts are providing you all of their information here. I mean, look at this. This individual provided me their first name, their last name, their email address, and some additional data. And now I have all of this at my fingertips. This is truly building a complete dossier on your contacts, so that then if you come in here and you go to tags and you want all of your lead generation tags that have come in through that, they're all right here. And so if you're organizing this as your hosts or your business prospects or someone to follow up with about wanting to know more information about the opportunity associated with your business, all organized at your fingertips. Yeah. That really is, for me, where I think of this lead generation as being so valuable, is that organizational concept of being able to just organize my contacts. I'm going to delete these ones that were fake. Being able to organize my contacts in a way that makes it so easy for me to wake up in the morning and know who to follow up with and what to follow up about. So that's, you know, that's the secret sauce right there for me. Okay, guys, so we've talked about lead generation. If nobody has any other questions, I think that's it. I think we'll go ahead and sign off. I haven't seen any other questions come in the Q&A. So if I have multiple business cards, do each lead go to other card contacts? So D, if you have multiple business cards, every time you capture a lead from no matter what business card it came from, it's going to end up in your complete contact list. And then the tag component comes in based on which campaign they provided you that lead came in through. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Tom asked a really great question. Do you see a future integration with an email or a responder? Wink, wink. Yes. Just wait. Just wait. All right, guys. If there are no other questions, If there are no other questions, I'm going to sign off and we will see you guys at our next training. Again, this is going to be live on YouTube, so you guys can catch this right now and go replay it right now at youtube.com/Elify. If you haven't already, I would recommend subscribing to that YouTube channel so you get all of our latest content and videos. And then my other suggestion to you, if you have any other questions after this training and you're sitting here and you're going, gosh, I wish I would have asked that, email support@elify.com. They are wonderful over there and they will get you all of the answers to all of your questions. The only thing that I will tell you is that we are closed for the Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday and Friday this week, but we are back to normal business hours on Monday. And then the other great resource for you is our knowledge base, which you can get by going to help in the app at any time. And that's going to pull up the knowledge base, and there's tons of information in there with step-by-step tutorials that are also photos, and it's wonderful. I love the new knowledge base. So go ahead and spend some time reviewing that as well. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It was truly a pleasure going through all of this with you. But if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and look at those different resources that we have available for you. Make it a wonderful day, y'all, and have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the holiday for my US viewers. Bye-bye.